Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining the call today. Pradeep Prabhuji, whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Actually, I'm having some issue. I'm unable to read today, Prabhuji. I'm sorry.
No worries, Prabhuji. I can read. Let me read it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. We're reading from chapter 35. The gopis sing of Krishna as he wanders in the forest. We're reading the first 13 verses today, starting from text 1. Sukadeva Goswami said, whenever Krishna went to the forest, the minds of the gopis would run after him, and thus the young girls sadly spent their days singing of his pastimes. Text 2 and 3. The gopis said, when Mukunda vibrates the flute he has placed to his lips, stopping its holes with his tender fingers, he rests his left cheek on his left arm and makes his eyebrows dance. At that time, the demigoddesses traveling in the sky with their husbands, the Siddhas, become amazed. As those ladies listen, they are embarrassed to find their minds yielding to the pursuit of lusty desires, and in their distress, they are unaware that the belts of their garments are loosening. Text 4 and 5. O girls, this son of Nanda, who gives joy to the distressed, bears steady lightning on his chest and has a smile like a jeweled necklace. Now please hear something wonderful. When he vibrates his flute, Braja's dulls, Braja's bulls, deers, and cows, standing in groups at a great distance, are all captivated by the sound, and they stop chewing the food in their mouths and cock their ears. Stunned, they appear as if asleep, or like figures in a painting. Text 6 and 7. My dear Gopi, sometimes Mukunda imitates the appearance of a wrestler by decorating himself with leaves, peacock feathers, and colored minerals. Then, in the company of Balarama and the cowherd boys, he plays his flute to call the cows. At that time, the rivers stop flowing, their water stunned by the ecstasy they feel as they eagerly wait for the wind to bring them to the dust of his lotus feet. But like us, the rivers are not very pious, and thus they merely wait with their arms trembling out of love. Text 8 to 11. Krishna moves about the forest in the company of his friends, who vividly chant the glories of his magnificent deeds. He thus appears just like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, exhibiting his inexhaustible opulences. When the cows wander onto the mountain sides, and Krishna calls out to them with the sound of his flute, the trees and creepers in the forest respond by becoming so luxuriant with fruits and flowers that they seem to be manifesting Lord Vishnu within their hearts. As their branches bend low with the weight, the filaments on their trunks and vines stand erect out of the ecstasy of love of God. And both the trees and the creepers pour down a rain of sweet sap, maddened by the divine honey like aroma of the tulsi flowers on the garland Krishna wears. Swarms of bees sing loudly for him, and that most beautiful of all persons thankfully acknowledges and acclaims their song by taking his flute to his lips and playing it. The charming flute song then steals away the minds of the crazed gopis. Indeed, they approach Krishna, close their eyes, and maintaining strict silence, worship him by fixing their eyes on him. Text 12 and 13. O goddesses of Raja, when Krishna is enjoying himself with Balarama on the mountain slopes, playfully wearing a flower garland on top of his head, on the top of his head. He engladdens all with the resonant vibrations of his flute. Thus, he delights the entire world. At that time, the nearby cloud, afraid of offending a great personality, thunders very gently in accompaniment. The cloud showers flowers onto his dear friend Krishna and shades him from the sun like an umbrella. So I'll pause there. Hare Krishna, dear Hare Krishna Kirtan Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes Sri Prabhupada. When you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thanks for reading today's verses, and thank you for giving me this opportunity for my own purification. Though I'm not qualified, but as a duty and service, I just want to perform this service for my own purification and the pleasure of the devotee. Let me offer my prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshitarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauri Bhakti Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukum Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langai Yatkiri Yatkripatam Aham Vande Shri Guru Deen Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Let me share my screen quickly. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Confirming. Okay, so today topic is Yugal Geet, the feeling of separation of gopis for Krishna. So we'll start what is the Yugal Geet is all about, and actually, what are the different songs of the gopis sung in the 10th canto? So, as we know, in 10th canto, in Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, it's all about the lotus feet, lotus smiling face of the Krishna. And this canto has 90 chapters, and first 39 chapters where Krishna was performing his pastime into the Vrindavan, and then next 51 chapters talk where Krishna is performing his pastime in Mathura and Dwarka. And then in this 39, in this 10th canto, we have 6 prominent songs sung by the gopis. First song came into the chapter number 21. It's a Venu Geet. And it's a pre-Ras Leela separation. Pre-Ras Leela separation. It's a Purva Raga stage where gopis have seen Krishna. They have developed a kind of sweet feeling for Krishna. And then when Krishna is going to the forest in the daytime, and then they are doing their household chore and activity, and then they are singing a song. They are, describing the Krishna's pastimes and Krishna's leelas, Krishna's beauty. They're describing. That's called Venugit. That's a Purva stage. Then, after few chapter, in the chapter number 29, it's a Pranay Geet. It's a part of the Rasa Panchadhyaya. So where the Pranay Geet, when Krishna in the middle of the night when he's playing the flute, at that time he was calling all the gopis, and then gopis rush for Krishna. They left all their obligations and rushed to the forest directly. And at that time, Krishna tried to say, why you came here? You should go back to household chores and perform your household chores. That's where gopis start the sung Pranay Geet. It's again a pre-Ras Leela separation, but yeah, they are singing there to request Krishna to accept them. And then 31 chapter talk about the Gopi Gita, and we recently discussed Gopi Gita. Here Krishna accepted the gopis, but then Krishna realized a little pride in the heart of the gopis, and then Krishna immediately disappeared. And then Gopi sung the famous song, which is Gopi Geet, to bring their Gopinath back. And that's during the Ras Leela. And it's a Ras Leela separation. And then the topic for today is a Yugal Geet. So very soon after Ras Leela, what we have seen, like, again the daily activity performed, like Krishna started going to the forest in the daytime, and to with along with the gopas and the cows, to graze the cows. And then these gopis are performing their household activity, and gopis has developed so much affection for Krishna because Krishna has accepted them now. And after, when Krishna goes to the forest, gopi are in the village, they are feeling the intense separation. And that's where the this is a post Ras Leela separation. And then we, in the chapter 39, we have a Virha Geet. And then on 47, Virha Geet is when actual separation happened. It's the explosion of separation when Akrura came to from Mathura to Vrindavan to take Krishna away. And that's where gopis were criticizing Brahmaji, why they gave only two eyes and then eyelid. Brahmaji's, they are, saying, Brahmaji, you are a poor creator, you are a poor planner. How can you give the name Akrura when he is a very cruel personality? So that's the called Viragit. It's an actual separation when it happened. So that's on 39 chapter. Afterwards, it's Krishna's pastimes, you will see from chapter 40. It's all in Mathura and then Dwarka. And then the Brahmar Gate, when Krishna sent Uddhava for a messenger in Vrindavan, and then one bumblebee is trying to do the parikrama of the lotus feet of the Radharani, and Radharani is trying to criticize bumblebee. Bumblebee means Brahmar, so that's why it's called a Brahmar Gate. And then Brahmar and Radharani is indirectly passing the message back to the Uddhava in that way by criticizing the Brahmar or bumblebee. So when you come to in this chapter has a 26 shloka. So first shloka is a Sukadeva Goswami set the stage. When Krishna went to forest and Gopi's mind would rather after him in the feeling of separation, and that's where Gopi started singing the song out of separation. And then they are glorifying the Krishna's pastime, their smiling face, activities, flute, everything. And then the last verse also, Sukadev Goswami is concluding, because of this song of separation, even though gopis are separated with Krishna, but still in their heart, in their mind, they are having an internal union with Krishna. So that's the two verses sung by the spoken by the Sukadev Goswami. But the remaining 24 verses are sung by the gopis. These are the actual song of the uh, Yugal Geet. And then, according to the Jiv Goswami, these 24 songs are none other than the 24 hour a day that gopis are remembering Krishna in their village. So one can ask why this is called Yugal Geet, because the Yugal means pair. So here what is happening, different gopis in the form of couplet in a pair, they are singing the pastime of Krishna, beauty of Krishna at a different location in their village and at a different time. So, and so there are basically 12 songs given by sung by the 12 pair of gopis in the different places of the village, and they are singing the song. And in each song, there are two songs. In each pair, one is telling the cause and another verse is telling the effect. So we can say, like, what is a cause and effect? So first verse, we can say, like, gopis are describing the beauty of Krishna or flute sound of Krishna. And then the second verse may describe, oh, what is the effect of that flute sound? So that is how this Yugal Geet all about. So now let's start with our text number second and third. So in the text number 2 and 3, so how we pronounce this verse? So let's. I was hearing my Guru Maharaj, and he was telling like how to pronounce this verse. So I'll pronounce only one verse because of lack of time. I don't want to spend on time. Shri Gopaya Uvacha Vama Bahu Krita Vama Kapolo Valgita Brahur Adhara Pita Venu. There are many ways, and there is another way. What he says. Vama krita vama kapolo Valgita Bahuradhara Pita Venum. So Vama Bahu Krata Vama Kapolo means now Krishna is taking his Tribhanga form. Krishna is resting his left cheek to the left arm. So now gopis are describing here Krishna's Tribhanga form, like how Krishna is tilting his head to his left arm, rest his cheek while the fingers are dancing on the whole of the flute. And then they are also describing the beauty of the face, that when he's in his Tribhanga form, he makes his eyebrow dancing, and then he's taking a sidelong glance to the all the living entities. And then now gopis are describing in the same verse the flute sound of the Krishna. That sound of the Krishna's flute we cannot compare with the ordinary music. It's a transcendental call to all the inhabitants of the Vrindavan, not even all the inhabitants of the Vrindavan, to all the inhabitants of all the planets. So now this is the cause, that because of that, gopis are loses all their senses, all their external surrounding, what is happening in their surrounding. That's how gopis are meditating in this cause. Now, what is the effect? Now, during that time, what gopis are describing, there is an aeroplane was passing, that Siddha's aeroplane was passing from the Vrindavan, and then Siddha's wives, the demigoddesses, here when they hear this transcendental flute vibration of the Krishna's flute, they they literally freeze in the airplane. They lost their composure, their hair, their garlands, and their garments also started loosening up, because they were so captivated by the sound. The Cupid enter into their heart so that they can serve to Krishna. They were feeling ashamed. Like they were thinking initially, their beauty is the most astonishing. Or their song, what they do, their melodies are more astonishing. But when they hear the beauty, when they hear the Krishna's flute sound, and when they see the beauty of Krishna, they are feeling ashamed. And then they realize that their beauty is nothing compared to the Krishna's beauty. Their music is nothing compared to the flute sound of the Krishna. So let's go to the next verse. And here gopis are calling Krishna as a Mukunda. So there are two meanings of Mukunda. So first meaning we'll discuss in this verse. Mukunda means a person who gives the liberation, or one who can give the liberation. Here Mukunda is giving the liberation to the gopis from their separation. They have a temporary separation. So what Mukunda is giving? They are giving liberation from their temporary separation, because gopis are able to see now Krishna more clearly in their heart, in their mind, like he is standing in front of them. So in the text 4 and 5, now gopis are talking, now other set of gopis are talking about the beauty of Krishna. Like how Krishna is wearing a hara. Hara means a necklace. Uh, Hara means a necklace which is which Krishna is wearing, and it's a uh, uh, and then he's smiling. When Krishna is smiling, his teeth are reflecting. His teeth, his white shining teeth, are reflecting into the necklace, and that is making the effulgence more brighter. And uh, Sthira means motionless. Vidyut means lightning. So that Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, is residing in his chest. So here, gopis are saying Mukunda. Mukunda means, here one more side, the another meaning of Mukunda is, we have a Kunda flower, which is a white flower birds, white flower birds. So what gopis are saying, Krishna teeth are like the row of a white Kunda flower. And when Krishna is smiling, his smile reflect off his jewel necklace, and it create the brilliant effulgence. So now what is the effect of this cause? So I was trying to create some find some photographs. So this is one of the photographs I found for the first this verse. I hope that image is visible. So here the effect of this cause, the all the cows, bulls, deer captivated by the transcendental sound vibration, because they were, why cows went there, they were chewing their meal, they were chewing their food, they were chewing their grass. But after hearing this flute sound of Krishna, they forgot what they were doing, because of this transcendental shock, they forgot to eat. They forgot the art of swallowing the food. And then this grass was sitting in the middle of their teeth, and they forgot what to do. And it seems like it was just like a painted picture in the canvas that Krishna is playing the flute in the forest, and these cows and these calves are stunned along with the gopas. That's how the situation looked like. And then after hearing this flute sound, what these cows and calves did, they cocked their ear like a golden cup and then position it upward so that they can catch and hold of this transcendental vibration, this transcendental sound. And then not even a single drop of this flute sound will go astray. Correct? They just want to catch and hold of everything, even a single drop of this nectar of this flute sound. That's why they put it like this upward. And these animals become motionless. Then why they were trying to do? Because they were ecstatic, they were motionless, they want to absorb all these vibrations into their heart. They want to drink the nectar in their heart. Animal become motionless because with the fruit sound of the Krishna, inanimate become animate, animate become inanimate. These rivers become stunned, and then these mountain like Govardhan, rock of the Govardhan become melt. So that is the transcendental quality of the Krishna's flute. And then gopis are describing these wonderful pastime, but they have a tinge of less fortune in their mind. They are saying that they are less fortunate because they are having a little envy with these animals. They are considering them less fortunate because they are seeing these animals, these trees, these cows, these gopas, these creepers, these rivers are more fortunate than us because they are at least getting the physical association of gopis, and we are so abhagi that we are not getting a chance to have a physical association of Krishna. So that is what the deep meditation and the thought process of the gopis. On the text 6 and 7, now gopis are describing the shringar of Krishna. Like, let's go to the next image. So here it's a say Barhina. Barhina means not gopis are describing Krishna is having a peacock feather. Barhina means feather. Now these peacock feather is a prime decoration for Krishna. If you have any abstract painting and there are two major objects of Krishna, one is a peacock feather and a flute. And in the abstract painting, if you see only peacock feather and flute, most of the people can tell this is Krishna. Not even you don't sketch Krishna's image, but if flute and peacock feather, it's a symbol for Krishna. So that's what we're saying. Like peacock feather are the prime decoration of Krishna, along with other decorations. But this is the prime decoration. So, and then stapka means the bouquet of flowers. So now these flowers Krishna is wearing as a garland, in the form of garland, in the form of earring, in the form of ankle bell, in the form of the waist belt. So he's doing that. And dhatu means the natural minerals. Now the gopas are doing they're crushing the leaves. They're crushing the leaves, and then they're using the actual mineral and creating the dots, gopi dots in the Krishna's face and in the Krishna's body, like what we do in our temple to the Radha Madhav Shiva. And then now gopis are saying Krishna is in the mala mood. Malla mood means he's in the wrestler mood, because Krishna has seen in the Vrindavan lot of wrestlers. So Krishna has wear his dhoti tight up so that he looks like a wrestler, because he wrestle with his gopa's friend, and sometimes he also lose because he want to see the pleasure for his friend in the Sakhya mood. So that's how the Krishna is decorated. Now, Krishna is playing the flute and making the special call to the cows. Cows are grazing in the forest, and then now Krishna is making a flute sound to make the call to the cows. Sometimes Krishna is doing the indirect call, but sometimes Krishna is doing the direct call to the cows, and then he's calling by his name. Hey Shyamala, hey Surabhi, hey Narmada, hey Gange, please come. And most of the cow recognize their name, and with the normal call they gather where Krishna is calling them. But some of the cow require a special call because they don't want to come with the normal call. And then as we also know, like in the airport, some passengers need a special attention, where airline calls that a special attention, final call for this passenger to come and board the flight. Similarly, some of the naughty cows needs a special treatment, special announcement, and they don't come like that. So now gopis are telling the effect what happened, because Krishna was calling out these names. These names, Shyamala, Saraswati, Narmada, Ganges, are the name of the rivers. So effect is, by hearing these names, Rivers hear this name, rivers hear this flute sound, and they become stunned. They become stopped. Istimitapaha means stopped. Rivers are also feminine. So natural flow of river that they need to go travel towards the ocean. Rivers are female body and ocean are male body and ocean are their husband. So rivers are natural flow towards their husband. However, upon hearing the Krishna flutes, they are stunned. They forgot their natural flow, and they have the stunned means stambha means this is one of the one of the vikar of the asht sattvic vikar. Because of the symptom of ecstasy, they don't know what to do. And one and then my Guru Maharaj, I was hearing my Guru Maharaj lecture at that time. Guru Maharaj said, like, when rivers have heard the flute sound of the Krishna, what river did, they have lot of currents happening, start happening, lot of waves, and these waves are a arm of the river, and then they start collecting. Because sometimes Krishna, while making the flute sound, he was doing the flute sound, playing the flute into the bank of the Yamuna. Sometimes he is sitting on the branch of the tree of the Yamuna, a branch of the tree in the bank of the Yamuna, and then he's sitting on the branch, and then he's moving his legs. Sometimes feet are touching the water of the Yamuna, and then Yamuna feeling ecstatic when it received the transcendental lotus feet of the transcendental dust of the lotus feet of the Krishna. And then the waves started collecting the different lotus flower from the river, and then offer to the lotus feet of the Krishna. And then Krishna, when Krishna start ready to leave the forest, collecting the cows and go back to the village, then these rivers are feeling the separation, and they are trembling in the disappointment. Their currents are started flowing, and they are thinking how they will get the association back. How will they will get the dust of the lotus feet of the Krishna? That's where they are calling out humbly to the wind, the Anila, please bring the lotus feet of the Krishna, dust of the lotus feet of the Krishna, and to my river, so that I can get the association of Krishna once he's leaving. So we can't, otherwise we cannot tolerate the separation of the Krishna. So that's how the rivers are praying to the wind that carry the dust of the lotus feet of the Krishna, so that we can have the life. So we can compare the situation of the river with the gopis. As gopis, river has a two banks, one side and another side. Similarly, gopis have a obligation. They need to perform their materialistic duties with their husband. They serve their husband and the family. They have a one bank as like their father's family, and the another bank is their father-in-law family. So that's how gopis are also bounded in those two banks, and they need to perform their household chore. But in their heart, in their mind, they can think of Krishna. They can meditate on and absorb in the Krishna's pastime beauty and the sound of the Krishna's flute. So in the text 8 and 11, it's a long verse, but not many purport given here in all these 13 verses in this chapter. So now what gopis are telling, when Krishna is playing his flute sound, and when he's calling the cows who are wandering in the mountain side of the Govardhan, and then now gopis are telling the situation of the trees and creepers. If you look at the third image, so now in the third image, what is showing, now trees and creepers, when they hear the sound, they are also releasing their sap, and they're as a torrent of rain, because they're also crying for Krishna out of ecstasy. So that is the effect when Krishna is playing the flute sound to call the cows. Trees and creeper become so heavy, so strong, and they have developed a new fruits, and then those fruits are also ripened. They have developed the new flowers, and because not of the weight of the flower or fruits, but these trees and creeper are bowing down as a natural affection to the lotus feet of the Krishna, to give the respect to the Krishna, to surrender to the Krishna. These trees and creepers are bowing down in front of Krishna out of love. And also we are seeing in the body of the branches of the tree, lot of new buds are coming, and these buds are just appearing like a hair standing on the skin of the humans. Correct? It's a Ashtra Sattvic Vikar, again one of the Ashtra Sattvic Vikar, hair standing on the ends, goosebumps. So that is how the situation is. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, there is one purport here, is explaining, whenever we hear the Vaishnavas hear the Sankirtan party, what they do, they also start dancing out of ecstasy and offer obeisances to that Sankirtan party. Similarly, these trees and creepers are also giving the obeisances to the Krishna because they are completely maddened in the Krishna's flute song. So, and then another, because 10th 11 has another cause and effect. So now when Krishna is wearing the garlands, and these garland has also a tulsi leaf. So because of the divine scent of this tulsi leaf of Krishna garden, now these bumblebees are being attracted and they are trying to drink the nectar of this tulsi leaves, and they are making the zoom, zoom sound. The bees are making the sound because they are so intoxicated to the nectar of this the tulsi leaf smell fragrance, and they are drinking that nectar. And bees started singing loudly, and then Krishna started reciprocating with the flute sound. Bees are having sound, humming sound, and then Krishna's flute sound. This changed the complete atmosphere as a spiritual atmosphere with a transcendental vibration here and there. And now, what is the effect of this situation? That by hearing the Krishna flute sound, it steal away the minds of the water bodies like cranes, swans, and then other water bodies, and they got maddened, and they take the samadhi because they control their mind, and they took up the samadhi, and they was just completely meditating on this transcendental sound. So that is the situation of the all the water bodies, because they closed their eye and they took the samadhi, and then they enjoying the transit, and then they walk from they come out of the river and or lake, their respective lake, and then they give the obeisances to the Krishna. They collected here, as you can see in the image, all these hansa and then all of cranes came collecting, and then they're trying to get the lotus feet, get the lotus dust of the lotus feet of the Krishna. Then the text 12 and 13. Now, when Krishna is playful with his garland. Sometimes he is wearing this garland on his forehead as a turban and as an ornament. And then he's playing the flute. And what it causes, entire world to be relished. Now, in this text 12 and 13, gopis are telling, now when the whole atmosphere, whole inhabitant is intoxicated with the nectarious sound of this Krishna's flute, even cloud is very fearful. Cloud is thinking, how can I thunder? How can I contribute in this transcendental environment? So he want to shower the flower of rain, but he was scared of, how can I thunder? Because if I'll thunder, I will interrupt this melodious tune of the Krishna's flute. So what he did, he without a thunder, he poured down the rain of the flower and gave his obeisances service to Krishna's lotus feet, and say that how can I contribute in this situation? So in this ways, Gopi are expressing their mood, internal mood. 24 verses are describing the 24 hours of day. Every day when Krishna is going to the mountain, going to the forest for his daily duties, gopis are sitting in their village doing their household work. Their bodily limbs are working on household chores, but their mind and heart is meditating on Krishna. They are internally uniting with Krishna. They can see Krishna in front of them. They can meditate on Krishna's pastimes, beauties, and their Rupa Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, so that they can feel Krishna is standing in front of them. They are able to serve Krishna. That is the mood of Krishna. That is the mood of the gopis, and out of separation after the last Leela, because they know Krishna has accepted them. And that is what these verses are talking about. Now, the next few verses are talking about how Krishna's flute sound is astonishing, not even the demigod, even the Brahma, Indra, and then Shiva. Everyone is astonished with this flute sound of the Krishnas, and then gopis are describing their situation in the next following verses, which we'll hear next session. I would like to pause here. Please forgive me for my mistakes as your humble servant. Vancha kalpataru vriksha kripa sindhu devicha patita nam pavnebhyo vaishnebhyo namo namah. Granth Rashi Mad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hare Krishna Kirtan Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you all devotees. Hare Krishna. See you.